Hi, this is Jundo. Welcome to Tree Leaf. And today I want to give one final talk for beginners. Though we're always beginners and there is no end to this. I may actually give these talks from time to time. And we're always beginners from moment to moment to moment, even if you've been doing this Zen thing for 100 years, 1,000 years. Makes no difference. We're always beginners. But, you know, tomorrow, something new, because everything is always changing. And what is new tomorrow is something very old school. I'm going to be starting a series of talks on Master Dogen's Bendowa, which he gave many centuries ago as a talk for beginners. Actually, it was Master Dogen's old school way of setting out what this whole Zen thing is about, or not about. It's in the non-doing, and he tells us how not to do it, or to do it not do. Well, anyway, tune in tomorrow for that. But in the meantime, that leads me to today's subject, which is about another misconception that sometimes folks have about our Zen practice, and that is that it's about burning all the books. A special transmission outside the scriptures, beyond words and letters, which means that we are just supposed to be in the moment, dropping all thoughts, dropping all philosophy or reliance upon ancient dusty books. And that's right, we are. Sometimes. You see, our Zen practice is like a million tools for a million different occasions. And there are those moments when we just be in the moment, appreciating the moon, smelling the roses, just being present where we are, not a thought in the world, nothing to add or take away, the turning wheels of the mind set to rest. All is still, all is calm, no reliance on abstract thought, just being present in the experience of the moment. We know how to do that. We do that a lot on the Zafu. And there are times to do that. In those times when you just want to appreciate the mountain instead of think about the mountain you're appreciating. I do that sometimes on hikes in the mountain here in Mount Scuba. Sometimes I think about the mountain, but other times I just hike the mountain. Sometimes I even drop all thought of me and the mountain and the hiking. And then what is there? There are those moments. And there are those times too when we want to set to rest all the clutter in our heads. I mean, just go around this thing called the internet, and you are bombarded with data and opinions and emotions, and your head is like that, filled from day to night with a garbage can filled with stuff. And there are times we wish to drop that all away and just be simple and just be still and just be at rest. But you know, our Zen practice is something like unformed jello or clay. For any cooks out there, if you just make jello and you don't have a mold, it takes no shape. And of course, being formless in our Zen practice is a very good thing. But that doesn't mean that our Zen practice is not meant to have a certain direction and form to it. The experience on the Zafu is formless. It is like raw clay or unformed jello, without shape, without any barrier, without any limitation. But when we come into the world, we also need to give this experience on the Zafu a certain direction. Just as if you're sailing a boat on the ocean, you can go any direction at all. But it's good to have some charts, it's good to have some compass to tell you the safe direction, the good direction that will keep you away from the rocks and shoals. And so it is with our Zen philosophy, the study of the sutras. Zen teachers have never, ever been really away from the books. As a matter of fact, if you go into the history of Zen, you'll find that the characters who burned all the books usually then sat down and wrote a book to tell you how they burned the books. Sure, there are always people who decided that there was one day just to build a hut in the woods, but You'd be surprised at the degree of high scholarship that was always involved with these individuals. It's a little of both. But the point is this: we just don't read the words and letters. We just don't read the sutras. We learn to see through the words, to see the empty space between the letters. That's non-thinking. I spoke about that the other day. How we think, but also do not think, all at the same time. Think, don't think, non-thinking. We learn to just see through it all. So it's not like we approach Zen philosophy, Buddhist philosophy in the same old way of just thinking, thinking, thinking. We approach it whereby even if there's some thinking, there is still the stillness, there is still the silence there all at once. And at other times, we do go off and build our house, our little hut on a stone ledge out in the woods, because there are times for that too. So tomorrow, we're going to discuss one of the great works of thinking, not thinking, by one of the greatest scholars of Buddhism, Master Dogen. And we'll do that by seeing through what Master Dogen was trying to say. Shall we sit with that?